Hello, everyone. I just need to get my screen up here correctly. Hang on. I am Kim Hansen. I am a leadership coach, salon coach in the industry. Welcome. I hope everybody is having a great Thursday. Normally, I am on here on Wednesdays at 4, but this week I am here on Thursday at 4:15. Why? Because life happens. And I was with a client yesterday, and it took me a lot longer than what I expected. And you know what? That's okay, because sometimes I need to spend a little bit more time with my clients than the regularly scheduled hour and a half or whatever it is. So anyway, happy Thursday to everybody. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. We only, like in the salon world, we only really have 2 days left, unless you're open 7 days a week, and then you get to be on 7 days a week. All right, so I do these calls, or I do these talks every week. They last about 20 minutes and sometimes longer. Depends on how long-winded I am. And I want to welcome you all. And I'd love it if you were to add a little hello, a hi, a comment to my talk, something that you want to talk on, where you are watching from, whatever you want to add in the comment section. If you give me some likes, some love, some angry faces, some laughs, whatever you want, I love them. So today we are going to be talking about, what do you think my goal is for my clients? Well, what do you think it is? You can write in the comment section and let me know what you think your goal is. Hey, Brittany, how are you? I'm glad to see you on. So I have a goal for my clients, and it's kind of a hidden agenda, and now it's not going to be a hidden agenda anymore. My goal for my clients, well, hello, Oscar. So Brittany says my goal for my clients is growing leaders. Yes, that is my goal for the industry, is to have a huge industry full of amazing leaders that know what leadership is all about. That really is my overall goal, but I have a little hidden agenda. And what do you think that hidden agenda is? Oscar, you want to guess? Anybody else want to guess? So here's my hidden agenda. My hidden agenda is to build self-confidence, because without self-confidence, yes, self-confidence, Brittany, self-confidence comes with awareness as well. So I notice that a lot of people, and it's not something I just noticed, like, hello, we just notice everybody doesn't have self-confidence. But I did notice when I had my salon that stylists and a lot of people really struggled with self-confidence. And we can't have good leaders if we don't have great self-confidence. Hi, Albie. Hey, Cheryl. So there are 3 components to having great self-confidence. One is mental. It's a self-perception, or our inner dialogue, or our mental, and I should say self-perception, inner dialogue, mental thoughtfulness. So self-perception, how do we perceive ourselves? That's a mental part of self-confidence. And then there's inner dialogue, how we talk to ourselves. And then mental thoughtfulness, really how thoughtful we are to ourselves. Would we treat other people like we treat ourselves? I know for myself, a lot of times I would never say the things to another person. Well, maybe I would for some of you who know me. Like sometimes I can be kind of direct, but I've kind of lightened up a little bit on people. But the mental thoughtfulness part is, you know, when would we say to another person what we think about our own selves, not what we think to ourselves about other people, but because we can have that too. But would we say to someone else what we think about our own selves? So oftentimes I think we are our own worst enemy. Like when we're trying to learn something and we call ourselves stupid, or, you know, I can't get this, or we get frustrated with ourselves, would we get that frustrated with one of the people that we are on our team? I don't know, maybe you would. I don't know, that's an answer for yourself. I know that I wouldn't. The other part of self-confidence, we have mental as the first one. The second part is physical confidence. So that is your health and your fitness and how you feel about your physical self, right? And the third part is spiritual confidence. And that is our values, our belief, and our purpose. So now, with all of those three components, or with those three components built in under a heading of self-confidence, we have that the very core, we have to be aware. We have to become aware of all of those three things. And sometimes we aren't aware. So we can't change what we don't know, right? And so we get these little aha moments. And when we get those, when do we get those little aha moments? Like, when do they happen? Do they happen when we're not thinking about bettering ourselves and bettering our lives? When do they happen? Generally, that awareness comes from a few different areas, and it really honestly depends on what kind of learner you are. If you're a kinetic learner, an auditory learner, or a visual learner. And for some people, it's different things. For some people, awareness really comes with your writing. Some people, awareness comes in a crowded room at a conference and they're listening to an inspirational speaker, or possibly they listen to YouTube. I know for my kids, they listen to YouTubers. My oldest son listens to different YouTubers talk about different topics. So maybe some of you really find that awareness comes when you're listening to somebody speak. Maybe awareness is going to come to you right now. I don't know. Sometimes verbal conversations. When I coach people, we have a lot of verbal dialogue sometimes, and sometimes people are just spewing like this stuff, and they're totally frustrated, and they're just verbally regurgitating all of this stuff, and then the other person, me, is just listening to everything that they're saying. And sometimes people need to verbally process, their verbal processors, and until they just, oh, that's it, I got it, that's it, and that awareness comes. Sometimes meditation. I know for me, I do both non-guided and guided meditation. I really, really try and do it every day. Sometimes I do it twice, depending on how crazy I am. But I know for me, meditation, just quieting my mind, and I do both guided and non-guided. And then the guided meditations that I do, usually I have an app and I just take 10, sometimes 20 minutes a day and just listen to the guided meditation. And it helps me, it helps to create awareness. Am I doing this to myself? Am I saying these things to myself? What kind of wood am I throwing on my fire during the day to make, to ignite it into a huge, huge flame? Sometimes reading, I also do a lot of reading, and inspiration comes in reading as well for different people. So awareness comes with different things, and you need to really be able to, you need to be doing those things, and we need to create a habit of those things. In my group yesterday, I posted something about habits. What habits do you do? And awareness comes when we create those habits of things that we do to have those aha moments, whether it is meditation, whether it is, listening to somebody speak on inspirational talk, whether it's creating a habit of writing every day, whether it's creating a habit of reading. We need to create those habits 10, 20, 30 minutes every day, morning, night, whatever works for you. There needs to be a habit so that you're continually creating that awareness about what we're doing and how we feel about ourselves, and that negative self-talk that we do, right? So the second part in change is practicing positivity. We can't practice positivity if we don't know what it is we do. That's why awareness comes first, right? And I want to take a minute here to say hi to everyone. I want to say hi, Paul. Hi, Nina. Hi, John. Hi, JM. Hi, Travis. Welcome. Thanks for all watching today. So practicing positivity, become willing. Positivity really starts with becoming willing and open-minded to change. That's that process of your mind opening up. You have that awareness, right? And then you think to yourself, maybe I really, really want to change this, whatever it is. Maybe it's that negative self-talk that we have. Maybe it's your physical awareness. Maybe it's really creating more spiritual self-confidence. Whatever it is, then it's starting to becoming willing and open-minded about the change that you want to create. Then the next part of that is your perception. Your thoughts are based on your perception, and often it's based on your past. So what is our perception of a particular thing? Let's take physical self-confidence. I know as a woman, women, including myself, I'm included in on this, women have a certain self-image, and we don't always feel good about ourselves when we are a little overweight, a little poochy here, maybe a lot poochy there. Our arms aren't perfectly coiffed. You've noticed I've got my makeup, my big hair on today. All of that is part of our physical self-confidence. So our perception sometimes is warped based on, like, I can speak for myself, how I used to be. I'm not like what I used to be. I'm not a 25-year-old, woman. I'm a 53-year-old woman, and I don't have all of those same things I had when I was 25. So our perception can be not a proper based perception. And like I said, oftentimes our perception is based on our past or something that's happened in our past. So we're perceiving something based on an experience in the past. And we really need to take a look at, am I perceiving this from a proper perspective? And where is this perception really coming from? Is it real? Is it, somebody texted me yesterday about a review, a bad review. And you know, I've seen some pretty bad reviews. This wasn't really that bad. But in that review, it had some really negative things in there. And I simply asked her, is that true? Is all of that true? We need to look at the negative stuff or the negative self-talk or the negative things that we tell ourselves about, you know, that inner dialogue. Is it really true? And sometimes we have to talk to somebody else about it. Sometimes we have to go back to the meditation, the reading, the verbal dialogue, the writing, to know if it's really true, if we have a proper perception of that. The second or the next thing would be judgments. Okay, now here we got big danger zone, guys. Judgments. What are our judgments about a particular thing that we might want to change? What's our judgment around that? I can't. I don't know how. It's too hard. I'll never be able to accomplish that. What are other some judgments around change that we have that are stopping us from really making those changes and having really, really great self-confidence about, you know, looking at ourselves and being proud of ourselves, guys. We need to be proud of what we've accomplished. We can't fear change. We have to keep an open mind. We have to have the right perception. We need to continually be aware. And we need to stop judging based on fear, because that is like, we'll just butt right up against a brick wall on that one. I want to stop again. Hi, Jennifer, and hi, Doug. Welcome. So now on the reverse side of it, okay, here are the things that the awareness, the pause, the practicing positivity, the perception, the judgments. And now we get to learning and setting goals and practicing and accomplishing and celebrating. And this is another habit forming thing. We want to, if we think we can't do something, or we don't have the proper knowledge, so what do we need to do? We need to learn, right? We need to learn about what it is and be okay with not knowing, right? And that's okay to not know. We don't know everything. And then we need to set some goals. What are our goals? Okay, people have a tendency to set these huge goals for themselves. Oh, like, I'm gonna work out every day for 2 hours and I'm gonna lose, 30 pounds in a month. That's probably not the best goal to set, because it's not achievable. You're going to fail. You're setting yourself up for failure. So when we set goals, we want to have an overall goal in mind, but we also want to set very small little achievable goals and create habits around those goals. So, what kind of habits can I set up for myself on a daily basis that is going to get me to my goal for this week? What's going to get me for my goal for the month? let's say we're going to we're changing our inner dialogue, or our mental dialogue. What is it that you can do? What kind of habits can you set up for yourself on a daily basis that is going to change that inner dialogue that you have about yourself? And then we need to practice it. We need to practice it and practice it. And guess what? We're not going to do it perfect. It's just like I made a commitment to myself and to all of you that I would be on Wednesdays. I did not do it yesterday because I couldn't get here in time. So I'm doing it today. So I didn't do that perfectly, right? But I'm practicing every single week. And every single week, I might hopefully get better and better and better at it, right? And then accomplishment. When we accomplish something, we have to really celebrate those tiny little accomplishments. And, I don't think we celebrate enough at night. When we sit down at the end of the day and, we brush our teeth and we put our jammies on and we get into bed and, whatever it is, maybe you get a book, maybe, you do your meditation, maybe you just, have a couple of glasses of wine and you're tired and now you're going to bed. Whatever it is that your nighttime routine is, at night, we need to think about the things that we accomplished in that day, and we need to celebrate that, you guys. We need to pat ourselves on the back. We have a tendency to look at all of the things we did not accomplish. And here's the thing about making lists, guys. We have a tendency to make a big old long list, and then we don't accomplish very much on it. And then we think all of these things I didn't accomplish today. So here's a little secret. Prioritize, right? So the 2 things on your list that you want to accomplish the most, you put at the top. What is going to get you to your goal for that day? What of those things on that list is going to get you to your goal the fastest that day? Put those 2 things on the top of your list. And then at the end of the night, when you go to bed and you go to sleep, you think to yourself, I accomplished the 2 most important things today. Whatever it is. Maybe one of the most important things on your day is to be kind to yourself. And maybe one of the most important things is to be kind to your team. Maybe one of the most important things on your list was to learn one thing. Learn one thing. Whatever it is, the top 2 things, prioritize. If you've accomplished those top 2 things and they got you to your goal, and when you go to bed at night, you celebrate. You congratulate yourself. You say, good job. Now, I want to go back to nutrition and fitness and appearance again, because how we look oftentimes affects how we feel about ourselves. And it oftentimes affects our self-confidence. And you guys, many of you who listen to me on these, you're hairdressers, you're salon owners, you're in the beauty industry, this is what we do. Yet half the time I see some people dragging their butts into work, and you look like shit. And you look like you just partied all night long. And that is going to affect your self-confidence. But if we take good care of ourselves on a daily basis and we make that a habit, if we eat right and we exercise on a proper routine and we take care of our physical appearance, and we make sure our grays are covered or our hair is cut, and our makeup's on okay, and you don't have to be super, super fancy. Just look at yourself in the mirror and think to yourself, is my physical appearance today affecting how I feel about myself? And I gotta tell you that my physical appearance affects my performance. I look like hell. You look like hell. Oscar. Well, maybe you need to do something about that. Maybe you need to take better care of yourself. So I want you guys to take a good look in the mirror and think, how is this affecting my performance? Because for me, I do not perform as well if I don't feel good about my physical appearance, and my physical self-confidence isn't up to what makes me feel good. And when I look good, I have a little bit extra skip in my step, and I even cut hair a little bit better, I think. So the last thing, and believe it or not, I should cut my hair off, Ellen. Well, maybe you need to come out here and maybe you need to cut my hair off. And I need bangs. You know what? Okay. I need bangs and I need to cut my hair off. Well, I need Ellen Edwards to cut my hair for me. How about that? So I need to come to you and you can cut my hair. Because I don't have a hairdresser. I was just talking yesterday about how I need a hairdresser boyfriend, and Oscar actually, Oscar volunteered for the thing. So anyway, I want to talk about the very last thing that I want to say, and I'm saving the best for last, is their spiritual self-confidence. And this is oftentimes something that I think people overlook, because we always talk about our perception and our positivity and our perception and our judgments and our physical beings. But what we often don't talk about is our spiritual self-confidence. And honestly, most of the time when I coach people, this is probably the most difficult thing for me to work through with a client. And I don't talk about it in a spiritual way, but what I talk about is what people believe, and what are their values, and what is their purpose. And sometimes it will take me 6 months to drill down on what somebody's purpose is, because I think that is an area that we are often very confused about. What is our purpose? And I posted yesterday about, what do you want your legacy to be? Stephen Covey talks about beginning with the end in mind. And my coach actually had me write a eulogy. And I go back and look at that fairly often. And I'm actually thinking about putting it in the book that I'm writing, so that you can see my eulogy that I wrote. It's changed since I first wrote it, but beginning with the end in mind helps us really think about what we want our life to be and what we want it to mean. And if we do not have a deeper meaning in our life, and we do not have really have a very core beliefs and core values, and know what they are and have them written down, and you have your purpose in life, your beliefs, what you believe, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're not willing to sacrifice, and your values written down on a sheet of paper for you to read and morph and change and grow. That is the core of your self-confidence. That is the core of who you are. So we layer all of these things on top of that core, that foundation. And you guys know that I always talk about the foundation. And I know if Oscar's watching, and Oscar's talking about his bricks, and he has his breaking down his walls, and those bricks help to lay that foundation of what it is our spiritual and our beliefs, our values, and our purpose are. And I got to tell you, in coaching, that is the one area that I probably spend the most time thinking about it. I don't know that my clients are always thinking about it, but it is the one thing in coaching, because when I know that somebody knows what their purpose is, and we can build a company and build up around that foundation, that it becomes very strong. And so does your self-confidence. So does how you feel about yourself. Once you know what you believe and what your purpose is, you guys are gold. All right, I've got guys trying to want to date me now. Alan wants a date, and Oscar says I already dumped him. So, okay, Oscar, I didn't dump you. You have to fly out here, and we'll go grab dinner, and you can, and then Alan will have to come with us, and it'll have to be a double date, and Alan will have to cut my hair and cut bangs. You guys are silly, but that's very flattering. And I would actually love Alan Edwards to cut my hair. It would be fantastic. So I'm going to end today. I think I've gone on for long enough. I want you guys to really think about your self-confidence, really think about your self-worth, talk to yourself, treat yourself with kindness and love, just like you would anyone else. Believe in yourself, celebrate your small wins. Don't be so hard on yourself, and live your dreams. Okay? Have a great Thursday, everyone, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.